This video is by Straight Goods News. SGNews.ca.
Decision on the Parliamentary Budget Officer's prerogatives. You'll read a decision that comforts us in the position we've been taking all along, that Kevin Page had the right to demand those documents. There's so-called privilege that existed of Parliament that the government was trying to set up as a barricade for him getting that information was false. That whole argument fell flat and the judge didn't accept it. The judge did say that, however, the request should have been made for those specific documents, and it wasn't, so he said that part became a bit theoretical. But on the most fundamental aspects of the case, paragraphs 5 and 28 prove conclusively that we were right to take the case to court. It has reaffirmed the right of the Parliamentary Budget Officer to demand that information, and we're very happy with the decision.
So, what should the PBO do? Should they go back to court? Should they ask for the documents?
I think that this decision is so solid and so categorical that the Conservatives can't play their game of continuing to try to shut down the Parliamentary Budget Officer, that any future Parliamentary Budget Officer will be able to use that judgment to demand the documents, and everything will be fine with that. I don't think that any further litigation is required. I think that the judgment is crystal clear in that regard. I will say, however, that as someone who was the NDP's finance critic when Kevin Page was chosen 5 years ago, we were involved in the process. The government insisted on a transparent process. Don't forget, it was the first law the Conservatives brought in. They wanted a Parliamentary Budget Officer who was above the fray, who could give really reliable, objective advice to parliamentarians. Mr. Page insisted on being interviewed. I spent over an hour with him, and he insisted on doing half of it in French, half in English, to reassure me that he could do it and work in both languages. This time, it's a completely opaque process. The information, unfortunately, that we're getting is that it's quite clear that a lot of the people who have applied are qualified for the job, but it seems quite clear that there might be something else going on here. I think we're going to just see another Conservative person pushed into that job. I'm very uncomfortable with the way it's gone on. We haven't been consulted on it. We haven't seen a single thing, unlike the process that brought in Kevin Page.